Yeah, it's Greggatron. I was not planning on making a video today, not at all. But something just happened. I gotta talk about this real quick. I went to the bank, right, to take care of some business. And you know, at the bank, they got the plastic up from COVID time, but they still kept that plastic up, I guess, for germs or safety reasons or whatever. So the teller's doing her business, but through the plastic, there's this dude standing behind me, and he's like 6 foot, I don't know, 4, maybe 5. And this dude's just freaking huge. I'm thinking, man, this dude, what the heck? But I don't want to say anything, because you know it's a bank, it's supposed to be quiet. So anyway, my transaction's almost over. I said, I had to turn around real quick. I was like, hey man, what I was about to say what bank. I said, what gym do you go to? He's like, man, I was going to ask you that, man. And there was a guy on my side at the other teller. He made gains too. He was pretty swole. He's like, I was going to say the same thing to you guys. And everybody starts laughing. And then I said, I saw you through the glass, man. It was like there was a giant standing behind me, man. It just erupts in the bank. Because it's like everybody in the bank saw the three of us. But I'm the only one who wanted to say something. But once I started talking stuff, everybody else just started laughing. Then there was a lady on my other side. She said to the other guy behind me, yeah, I just wanted to grab his arms. And then the big guy behind me, he was like, oh man, I was going to ask you guys what gym you go to. But anyway, I just looked at him. I was like, right on, man. I gave him a fist bump. And that was the end of it. But it was just so funny. But I bring this up because I just have so much respect for people who make gains. Like, it takes time to make gains, but it takes even more time to maintain gains. So when I see people in public, man or woman, like that, I'm inspired to make gains. Actually, that's why my shirt's off now, because I'm about to hit the gym in the garage. And I was like, man, that is crazy how a random stranger at a random place can just inspire you on that level. Like, this dude was huge. I'm like, what? So when I see that, I'm like, I gotta do something. And I ain't worked out in days because a few days ago, I helped a buddy of mine lift a vending machine. That thing was like 800 or 900 pounds. So I've been resting for a few days. But yeah, men and women like that in public. And it's crazy because I talked about this not long ago about how people view gym goers. But that's it. It's like they see us like we're superhuman, like we're different people. For example, and there's people, including myself, who can't explain that feeling. We can't explain that reality. In all reality, we're all just people, right? But there's people, like I said, including me, who can't put it into words. Like when women say to me about my fitness, women really don't know how to put it because, for example, I was at work earlier and I go into one of the offices and there's these two ladies talking, and one of them said something real slick like, oh, you're just this. She said my job description, but I'm not going to say what I do. She said, I remember you back when you were a toothpick, right? And I'm like, what's your point? And she just doesn't know how to deal with me because, for one, she hasn't seen me in a while, but I don't even know her like that. But she just got real mean and nasty. And she's like, you think you're the stuff, huh? I'm like, what are you talking about? I never said I was the stuff. But she's projecting that I'm the stuff. But I told her I never said that. And then she kind of tries to, I said to the other lady, I was like, what's her problem? Well, then the one who was acting all nasty, she's all like trying to act all nicey nice now. She's like, oh, what's your sign? You must be either a Cancer or a whatever she said. I said, I don't even go by that. I don't even do that. I don't care about that. She said, when's your birthday? I'm like, it doesn't even matter. I was born when I was born. I said something like that. And then she started acting nicey nice because I was giving her the same energy she was giving me. My point is, instead of her just saying, hey, you look really good now, and I remember you before you looked this good, she was throwing insults instead. Like, I don't get that. Like me, I'm gonna compliment a brother or a sister when they make gains, but that's her reality. She doesn't know how to deal with people like me. And there's another lady at my job who will say, don't tell him that. He'll get big-headed. His head will get too big. If people like compliment me. There's a lady who calls me Hercules on my job. Hercules! You know, from Nutty Professor. Hercules! And then the other lady will say, don't call him that. Stop saying that. My point is, people really just don't know how to deal with us. And I'm not trying to say I'm better than people. I'm really not. But it's just crazy to me because I have so much respect. Do you know how long it takes for people to make gains and maintain gains? I'm only 31, but there's people in their 40s and 50s and above who I see at the gym still, who still look good. And they tell me stuff. There's a lady and her husband, they train together. She told me she's 60 and she's been working out for years, ever since she was my age or younger. Like, I got the most respect for that. I had an old man at the gym tell me, because I think I was doing the leg press machine or something. Or no, it was the row machine. And I was pulling the whole stack, right? The whole stack. And this old man walks past me and he says, buddy, you can pull that whole stack with one hand. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, back in my day, I could do that. He said, when you're young, build your frame up. But when you're my age, all you got to worry about is maintaining that frame. I was like, right on. That's so smart. That's some of the best advice somebody ever gave me. I love when old people look at you crazy like, oh, buddy. I had a guy tell me before, did you play football in college there, buddy? You know how they call you buddy? One time I was on my bicycle and I talked to people at the park. This man told me, buddy. We got to talking. He's like, buddy, I don't want to be weird or anything, but I'm sorry, but you look like a Greek god. I'm like, a Greek god? Yeah, you do, man, you do. But anyway, my point is, for men and women, keep making gains. Keep making gains. Not only will you have better health, but you really do feel better. And I try not to make it about an ego trip, but a lot of it is partially ego because, come on, but I'm trying to let that go away. But it's hard to let the ego die when people around you keep saying stuff. And I probably did boast that guy's ego at the gym when I said that, but I guess I'll say no homo. But everybody in the bank was probably thinking the same thing I was thinking. I was just the first to say it, like, man, it looks like there was a giant standing behind me. I said, a giant, and everybody just erupted laughing. It was just, you just had to have been there. But that's why I love going out in public. For one, I'm a people watcher. I'm a dog watcher. I like to observe people. But I really love those social interactions that you wouldn't get at the drive-thru or the ATM or paying your bills online or whatever. I love that social interaction. Because like I said, the lady next to me, she's like, yeah, I wanted to ask if I could grab his arms. But, you know, this dude was so huge. He probably gets that all the time. Like, my arm is this big. This dude, quick story. When I was younger, in my early 20s, I went to a bar, right? And there's this dude, looked like a football player back from college. Just huge, just looked like one of them corn-fed boys. And I was kind of drinking. I was like, hey, buddy. I was like, hey, man, you look huge, man. I said, you a football player? He's like, yeah, I played for whatever college he said. I was like, man. Anyway, I challenged him to an arm wrestling contest. I lost. I said, let me go again. This dude beat me like 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row arm wrestling. At the end of it, I shook his hand. You know what I told him? I was like, hey, I'm going to make gains now. You just inspired me to get stronger. And next time I see you, we're going to arm wrestle again, and I'm going to win. It was funny. Him and his friends were laughing. It was funny. I never saw this guy again, but my point is, just a random stranger like that can inspire me to make gains. That's beautiful. I was talking to a lady at the grocery store before. I was like, hey, I'm not trying to flirt with you, but I'm just saying you have a heck of a physique. You look great. And she's like, yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. She said, people tell me she said either her boyfriend or her husband, I can't remember, looks like the Incredible Hulk. And they would train together and they would compete together and they go on tour together, whatever you want to call it. They do these shows together. And I think that's just an amazing thing, man. It's great. If you want to get into fitness and take it serious, it doesn't take long to take it serious. Like, once you start seeing results, it's hard to stop. And you look at yourself one way, but other people, they look at you a totally different way. Because that guy at the bank, he might feel a certain way about himself. Because being a bodybuilder, you're kind of a perfectionist. Like Arnold said, it's never good enough. You can always be better. But you just get that gratification when random strangers say, yo, you look great, or yo, what gym do you go to? Or, you know, people ask you, how much do you lift? How much do you press? How much do you squat? Whatever. It makes it worth it. Because we live in a world today where a lot of people are shy and a lot of people use social media, all that TikTok stuff. So, especially people younger than me, they grew up not talking to people in person. So when you see someone like that in public, you almost don't have a choice but to say something. And what you're doing, you're just bigging that person up. But like I said, that's why I love social interactions. Because it reminds you, we're just all people. We're not robots. We're not computers. It's just cool, man. But I'm going to hit the gym. I haven't worked out in a while, so I'm probably just going to hit a bunch of upper body. Then tomorrow I'm going to smash lower body. But yeah, happy weekend. Shout out to you people in the gym. Shout out to you people in the bank. Shout out to you people in the grocery store. That's funny. All right, peace.